All right. So let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat. Finding the support beneath you, lengthening your spine up towards the sky. And beginning to lengthen both your inhale and your exhale. And we've been working on the smooth quality and transition of your ujjayi breathing, or balancing the inhale and the exhale. And this morning, I want to read to you Mary Oliver. Why I wake early. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who made the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories, and into the windows of even the miserable and the crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star, that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. So breathing in the light that is outside of you, that can help to continue to keep this flame that's in you burning brightly. And may you feel that lift that comes inside of you, up the front of your spine, all the way through the crown of your skull. And honoring your presence, the light within, and the light that shines today. Bring your hands in front of your heart. This morning, I'm going to sing Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu. So you're welcome to join me. To begin, take a deep inhale. Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Tejasvinam Karavavai Tejasvinavarim Tamastu Ma Vivyashavai Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And honoring the light, the sun, bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands and lift your gaze. All right, so let's go ahead and come up to standing. Move your blanket out of the way. Step your feet a little wider. We're going to take that morning opening of pushing the hands. So you can step the feet a little wider, soften the knees, and just begin moving. Taking a few deep breaths. And if you like, you could start, inhale through the nose and exhale slowly out your mouth, like the straw breath. Just to begin, before we start using the pushing hands and the more forceful exhale. And when you're ready, five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly let the arms come back. Deep breath in. Let's step the feet back toward each other. And again, we'll do the 3 short inhales through the nose. So it's the yeah, here we go. When you're ready. Last one, stay down on the exhale, letting the arms slow down. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. And exhale, hands back in front of your heart. Relax your arms. And let's step your feet wide apart for warrior 2, a rising warrior, a side angle. We can go to your right first. So back foot turns in, front foot out. Inhale, the arms wide. And exhale, warrior 2. Deep breathing, please. So you're still working with your Ujjayi breathing. Reaching all the way into the back leg. And then relax the back arm, and as you lift your front arm up, just inviting the sun, the light. And then on your exhale, let's take it towards side angle. It could be a modified side angle if you want. Take the forearm to the top of the thigh. Really reaching out through the side of your body that's up towards the sky, that's up towards the sun. Lengthen. Can you lengthen out reach out the fingers? Like you don't want any wrinkles at the lower ribs when you're getting your morning suntan. And reach out the pinky side of that arm overhead. See what happens when you really reach the pinky side. It might turn the torso slightly. That's fine because it turned your pelvis. Then you can go back to turn the chest up towards the sky. And then we'll inhale, come back up. Exhale, straighten the front leg, release the arms. Let's spin the feet the other way. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, warrior two. So you find the root system, you find your feet and how they connect down into the ground. And then as you go ahead, release the back arm, turn the front palm up to the sky and inhale. Just like the sun, it rises in the morning and lifting all the way through the sky. So you're lifting and lengthening through the side body while still staying connected to the earth. And exhale over towards a modified side angle if you like. How do you reach all the way into the back outer heel from the crest of the pelvis? And as if you want to shine light all the way along those side ribs of the side of your body that's up towards the sky. How do you broaden that so that if the sun was shining on you right now, you would want all the light to shine in through the skin, into the back body. And then we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms, make your feet parallel. Hands can be on the hips. If you know that you want blocks for a wide-legged forward fold, then you can bring your blocks to be out in front of you. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. Good, yeah. And you know, if I'm having any back issues, I really wanna make my, either bring, like you might wanna go to even a chair, Carol, or you know, more than one blocks. Yeah, nice and tall. All right, so we're gonna inhale, lift through the top of the breastbone. Yeah, that's it. Reach all the way up. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale and bow forward, keep this lift through the heart. There go. The inner thighs start to move back. Then the hands are going to come down. We're going to bring the wrists underneath your shoulders, either on blocks or the ground. But let's keep the spine long, your legs straight. The weight balance between the ball of the foot and the heel. And we're going to take a twist. So if you'll take your right hand into the space between your two hands, it could be on the block, it could be on the ground. Let's reach all the way into the earth and then turn towards your left. So you have to stay really rooted into the earth, rooted into the ground in order to allow yourself, just like the sun, it rises and turns It comes up and over the earth, and we're doing the same with this twist. And if we wanted the light to shine through the whole spine, so the spine is long right now, and can it be pretty straight? We'll exhale, come back to center. Switch your hands. So reaching into the hand on the ground all the way from the back of that shoulder. And right when you do that, do you feel how your rib cage starts to turn towards your right, like the sun rising over the horizon? And maybe the gaze starts to turn as well. Pelvis is level. And then exhale. Let's turn back towards the ground. So here, let's walk the arms out like downward dog arms. They can be on the blocks, or you can also be on your finger pads. Again, the weight is still balanced between the heel and the ball of the foot. Sometimes we put a lot more weight in the ball of the foot, but I'd like to just invite you to make sure you're reaching back and strongly rooting into your legs. And if you drop your attention into your body through the legs and all the way through the spine, do you feel it like there's this long line, like a long line of light that's coming all the way through the torso and both of your legs? So that's why, we're not going to let the upper back drop. The chest drop to the ground. We're strongly reaching to the hands, taking the rib cage towards the pelvis. And then we're going to walk the hands back, shift them to the hips, and inhale, come up. And we'll step or hop your feet back together. All right, good. Okay, let's grab a strap. So you're going to take your strap and make a loop in it. And the size of the loop will be probably a little bit narrower than your arm bones are wide. And when you're ready, you're going to take it behind you. The strap will go behind you. And your wrists are inside your strap. Your palms are facing each other. And you're reaching out strongly into the strap. So you're actively reaching there. And then begin to, so as you lift at the front of the top of the breastbone, as you lift there, and you might feel, then can you also strengthen from the back of your armpit all the way down, like halfway down the ribs. From the back of the armpit, halfway down the ribs is toned. There's a lot of strength. Where at the front of the armpit and the front of the breastbone, there's length. Tone in the back, length in the front. And then you might take elbows back. When you took your elbows back, did you lose the opening at the front? Front of the armpit, tone at the back. So it's like Salabhasana arms. And then exhale, release. And let's sit the strap aside. Bring your blocks to the top of your mat if they're not there right now. Bring your hands back in front of the heart. You can close your eyes for a moment to drop your attention back inside. And to be able to notice, like in your body right now, just noticing the two sides of your body, how they differ, if they do. And then open your eyes, release your arms, and inhale, lift both arms. And your exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Forward fold, your hands are coming down to the earth. You're bowing all the way down. Your next inhale, go ahead and lengthen the heart forward. Lengthen the spine forward. And exhale, bow again. Inhale halfway. And exhale, let's step the right foot back for a low lunge. We'll have the back heel lifted. Hands can be on blocks or on the ground. You find the weight is in the front heel and the big toe of the back foot. And really reach back into the back leg. So you've got the heel lifted. The weight is more in the big toe than the little toe. And when you really reach back, just notice what happens through the pelvis. Do you feel your pelvis turn a little to the right? Let it turn slightly away from the front leg. Let's get a little up on the fingertips. And then let's take the arms and inhale upright. You might lift the arms by the ears. And we'll inhale the arms back out. Exhale, bow. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, take your left foot back. So you're stepping the left foot back. And again, you find the big toe of the back foot, the big toe ball, front heel. So even if I think about where in my body, as I think about how, if I could shine light through my body, where could I help it to move more brightly? And then when you're ready, take the arms out and come up. That's it, beautiful, wonderful transition. And then once I'm up, can I still reach through my fingers? Do I feel an openness at the front of the hip on the back leg? Lengthening, reaching through the fingers, all the way straight arms, straight elbows. Inhale, take the arms wide. And exhale, bow forward. We're going to inhale, Uttanasana. Exhaling there. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, can we step back to downward facing dog? You're welcome to use your hands on blocks or on the ground. In this pose, can you balance the inhale and the exhale? And as you're reaching the shoulder blades to the upper arms and all the way to the hands, at the same time, can you take your rib cage away from the other direction. So the rib cage goes one way, shoulder blades reach to the upper arms and toward the hands. Great. And then can we come forward? Inhale, plank. Exhale, we'll lower the knees. And exhale, bring the chest down. If your hands are on blocks, you can move the blocks off to the side. Let's come down and stack your right hand over your left and take some deep breaths in. Even when we are out and about in the day and we take a moment to lie in the grass or to lie on the ground and just to notice your breath when you do this. Where is your breath moving in your body? All right, let's slide the hands alongside your ribs. Palms are on the ground, elbows are in and up towards the sky. And when you're ready with your inhale, take a cobra. And your exhale, slowly lower. 2 more times. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. So you'll also notice that you're lifting at the front of the chest, the front of the armpit, and toning at the back of the armpit, right? So there's tone at the back and lifting at the front. Exhale, lower. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, plank. And back to either puppy or downward dog pose. And then we're going to come plank. Lower the knees. Good. And then walk your hands back. I want to open the front of the thighs. So I'd like us to take, you might want a blanket to put underneath your knees. And so you're going to stand on the knees. You can have your blocks handy. And we'll step your left foot forward, right foot back, right knee back. And can you make the distance so that the front knee can come past the front ankle, front knee past the front ankle. I'm going to pull my blocks back. Either I pulled my blocks back, they're really tall, or I have the hands at the top of the thigh. So on the back leg, I'm lengthening through the low belly to the inner thigh, top of the middle of the back thigh towards the knee. And in the upper body, lifting through the heart, lifting up through that front armpit space, and toning the back of the arm. And then we'll release. Let's switch sides. Stepping this foot forward, coming into the lunge. On the back leg, again, releasing lower psoas towards the inner thigh. Middle of the quad towards the lower quad. And in the upper body, I'm lifting at the top of the breastbone, lifting at the front of the armpit all the way up towards that corner. So that lift could come all the way around, toning at the back. Good. And then let's release this. Let's take downward dog or puppy. And then we're going to exhale. Let's inhale, we'll go plank. Exhale, lower the knees. And walk the hands back, child's pose. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. And can you I'm going to take a salabhasana with some support. So if you'll bring your blocks end to end, and then take a blanket across the top of those blocks, maybe another blanket. Okay, so when I lie over this, I'll feel the blocks. They're going to hit right around the lower ribs, so that when I come over it, I'm going to tuck my back toes under, and then I'm going to place my hands for a moment under my shoulders, and then we're going to take the arms straight back, palms toward the midline, and here is where we're going to lift at the front of the chest, tone at the back of the armpit, salabhasana, and I might lift the legs. And then release. Release. You can, if you bring your elbows toward each other and just rest your forehead at the thumb sides with the hands together, knees are resting. We're going to do another one of those. So once again, pull the hands back on the ground for a moment, tuck the toes under, tone at the inner thighs. We've been working a lot with the inner thighs, so the inner thighs are toned. Sweep the arms back. And then lift the top of the breastbone. Lift at the front of the armpit. So you're letting that roll up like a roll top desk. And tone at the back of the armpit. Lift the legs, tone the inner thighs. Tone at the back of the armpit one more time. And exhale, release. Again, resting. Any questions before we do one more on those? The flying Salavasana pose. All right. I'm hoping you'll notice, like when you really tone at the back of the armpit, how much that helps you in getting some lift at the front of the chest. So you're lifting through the front and toning down the back. Let's try one more. So I like to pull my hands back like they're in position for cobra. Tuck the toes. Tone the inner thighs to the inseam of the legs. And then when you're ready, you sweep the arms back. And you're welcome to lift the legs. And exhale, release. This time you're going to press down with the hands, take child's pose, where you can rest your forehead on your little stack you have. And if it's okay with the knees and the ankles, take the the sit bones toward the heels. And then we'll walk the hands back. Okay. Let's go ahead and come back up to standing. And we'll I'd take a downward dog on my way, dog pose. And then walk the hands towards your feet. Uttanasana. Shift your hands to the hips. And inhale, come up. Exhale, bring the hands in the heart one more time. And then release the arms. All right, let's move this out of the way. Just off to the side. Great. Let's take warrior one. So in your warrior one, we'll go ahead and let's step your left foot back, right foot forward. So you're gonna step that back. There's a slight turnout of the back foot, but the pelvis is pointing straight ahead. So both hip points are pointing directly forward. Let's just remind you that on the back leg, the inner back thigh has tone there. So the upper inner thigh of the back leg is toned. The front leg, we let the pelvis release, right? So when you're ready, inhale, lift both arms. And exhale, warrior one. And then we'll take the arms out wide, step forward. And just before we go to the second side, I'm just going to remind you that we worked so much with the inner thigh and the releasing of the front, pubic bone away from the front inner thigh, the tone at the back. So I just want to encourage you to, when you lift your arms, see if you get that sense of the tone at the back of the armpit. and an opening through the front of the armpit. So we'll try that in this warrior one, your second side. All right? So that means you're gonna step your right foot back. The back foot's turned out slightly. Pelvis is pointing straight ahead. Inhale, lift both arms. And exhale to warrior one. The tone of the back inner thigh helps move that light through the body. And then straighten the front leg. Take the arms out wide. And step forward. And let's have your blocks available so that you can take Uttanasana with your hands on your blocks. The blocks can be at any height, but I just want to have a supported forward fold. And with the support of the hands on your blocks, and you can have them as near or far as possible, can you shift the pelvis a little forward and see if that allows you the opportunity for a little deeper forward fold. And then we're gonna make a shift to a long spine forward. Hands will come to the hips. The hips move back. And inhale, come up. Great. Let's take your strap one more time. And let's make it bigger, a bigger loop. So this time the loop is going to be a little wider than my arm bones because we're going to take Parshva which is, and we're going to take Salabhasana arms. So in other words, I'm going to take the strap behind me, palms facing each other. And yes, does the loop feel big? It does. But that'll be helpful. So in a moment, I'm going to have both of my legs straight. My pelvis is pointing straight ahead. I've got the arms back. And I'm going to bow forward over the front leg. And then, so I can tone at the back of the armpit. Yeah, so that the arms can move overhead. Give it a try. I'm keeping tone at the back of the armpit because if I don't, when I bow forward, I won't have, the shoulder blades will not be moving towards my waist. And in this, with the arms in Salabhasana, I want that tone at the back of the armpit. It helps me I can still lift the arms, but it's not just letting them fall towards my shoulders. Yeah, releasing. Good. Okay. And inhale, coming back up. Great. Any questions before you do your other side with that one? All right, let's try the other side. So, changing legs. Arms are back. Press out on the strap. Inhale. And as you exhale, bow forward. Then, so you're going to release the front of that armpit and tone the back, and it's amazing where the arms go. And then we'll inhale and come up. And step forward. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Just relaxing the arms. All right, let's make the loop in our strap smaller. One more standing pose. Smaller than the width of mine. It kind of depends on the carrying angle in your arm, what the shape is. But if you're going to be able to take the arms overhead, you can make the loop whatever size that is. That allows even the hands can move toward each other. So making the loop might be quite small. We're going to take tree pose with our hands in the strap. So shifting the weight to your right leg, taking the right outer hip in towards midline, and bringing your left foot up to either the shin, bridge the knee, the inner thigh, the arms. And then we'll release. You're welcome to use the wall if you need it as well, of course. Let's try the second side. Shifting to the left, draw that left outer hip into midline. When you're ready, and then you'll step down when you're ready. Release the arms. Great. And let's sit the strap aside. All right. And let's take, we're going to come down to the ground. So please take either downward facing dog. You can inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, downward dog or puppy. Inhale. If you're not in puppy pose, come to plank pose. And then we'll lower both knees. And walk the hands back. And we're going to set up for bridge pose. Bridge, I'm going to have my blocks nearby, but we're going to do like 3 bridges without any support. And then we'll do a bridge with support under the pelvis. So if you have blocks, you can have them nearby. I like to elevate my shoulders on a blanket. If you have one, you can do that. It just gives me a little more height, a little more lift through the front of the chest and support underneath the upper shoulders. So when you come down, just know where your blocks are. And then we'll come down onto, if you've got a blanket, you can bring the shoulders on the blanket, but the neck and the head are not on the blanket. And then press the tops of the shoulders down. So there's the tone at the back of the armpit. And when you're ready, up into bridge. And we'll exhale lower. Let's take one more like that. So rooting down through the tops of the shoulders. That happens because you're toning at the back of that armpit, right at the corner, all the way from the rib cage up to the back of the armpit. The triceps are strong. And then when you're ready, lift the pelvis, reaching out the inner thighs to the knees, straight down the shins to the heels. And exhale, lower. And then this next one, we're gonna pick up the pelvis and take either one block or maybe 2 blocks under the pelvis. Go back to supporting strongly through the upper body, lifting the heart like the sun, and the rays of light that shine all the way through the upper chest, down along the ribs, through the legs, the arms, the fingers. So you can stay in this supported bridge, or you might bring one knee up and then another and take a supported version of a shoulder stand. You're still actively lifting through the heart. And the legs are vertical. If the legs are a little away from your body, you would be better just to bend the knees and keep the thighs vertical. Are you still pressing the tops of the backs of the shoulders into the support beneath you? So there's a lot of strength at the back of the arms. Then you'll exhale, bring the feet to the ground. Lift the pelvis away from one block. And if you used a blanket under your shoulders, when you lift the pelvis again, can you lift the back of the head and walk yourself so that you're going to put the pelvis on your blanket. Knees are bent, feet on the floor, shoulders on the ground. You're resting here. And then make a transition over to one side. And use your arms to push yourself up. We're going to take a twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana 2. That means you need a strap is helpful. Sit up on your blanket. And let's take, I might have another blanket available, but if your left leg is straight, and you're going to bend the right knee so that the right foot is at the inner left knee. When I do that, my leg is floating, my knee is floating a little, so I'm going to slide a blanket to support this outer knee. Then I'm going to take the strap around the straight leg foot, the tail around the bent knee outer hip. So on the right, your left arm is going to reach all the way around behind you to grab onto the strap. And then the bent knee arm is going to reach out to the strap. You're twisting towards your left. Some of you might be able to touch your foot, but remember this is a twist. So you can be as upright is fine as well. And we can just remind you that the turn, the twist does not come from pulling your left shoulder back. See you're twisting towards your straight leg. Relax the back of that arm that's against your back body, relax it in to the body and see if you can turn underneath it. And then we'll release and take the other side. Again, the foot, I go to the inner knee. I have to support my other knee because otherwise it's floating in space and that isn't as supportive as I want. The tail goes around the bent knee side. Straight leg arm reaches behind you, grabs onto the strap way over there. And then this other arm, the opposite arm of your straight leg, reaches for the strap. And you're turning toward the straight leg. And then we'll exhale and come back to center. I'm going to take 2 blankets to sit upon, just to take a moment of Baddha Konasana, where I'm going to hold on to my shins. And I'm going to sit up pretty tall here. And then I'm going to take my hands behind me. and lift through the front of the chest again. Toe in the back of the armpit again. All right, and then come back around. Take your hands into your knees, straighten your legs. So there's this easeful Dandasana, just letting the knees become more symmetrical right now, nothing. Can we take one more twist? This time we're gonna lift your left knee up, place it on the ground, and we're gonna twist towards your bent knee. So if you picked up your left knee and your left arm goes behind you, you can either hug this knee and then come back to center. So much going on in those twists for me. Yeah. Second side. Hand behind you to support you. But it doesn't have to be a straight arm. It could be a bent arm behind you. As you come across and turning right above the belly button. It's almost like in the twist that there's a storing up of the light inside. Like there's this turning and revolving, and you feel on the inside of the body, like the front of the spine, there's a little bit of heat, like there's some heat that builds up on the inside. And then as you exhale and release, it's like you're spreading all of that, the energy, the heat, the light that you just had in the spine, and letting that come all the way up through you. Straighten both legs again. Okay. So I just, for those of you that want to, I'm going to offer the Yogi Mudra pranayama before Shavasana. That's the one we're doing a little exhale retention. So if it's okay in kneeling in whatever position, you can have support at the backs of the knees, a block, or whatever you're going to need, so that when you loosely clasp your hands at the back body and you exhale all the way forward, it's nice to have something for the forehead to rest on. And you're not trying to, you're exhaling all the way down. When you're at the bottom of the exhale, you're just holding the breath out, but not, and when you get that urge to inhale, you just inhale, rise back up. You're not like in a competition, you're not trying to achieve a certain length. You're just simply inhaling vertical Exhale, bowing, holding the exhale out till it's comfortable, and you feel that, oh, time to inhale and rising back up. All right. So if you'll go ahead, if you're welcome to practice about 6 of those and then bring yourself to Shavasana. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who made the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories and into the windows of even the miserable and crotchety best preacher that ever was, dear star. That just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. As you allow your breath to deepen and you slowly awaken your body to movement. Make a mindful transition over to one side. And use the support of your arms as you press back up to sitting. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Yes, the blessings of another day and the light. Namaste.